Good evening, all. Priyadarshini ma'am, shall start the meeting sharply by 5:30.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, Sandil.
Sir, good evening.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sir.
Good evening to all of you. This is Priyadarshini, Assistant Professor in the Department of Petroleum Engineering from Danish Ahmed College of Engineering. I feel pleasured in inviting our guest speakers for the day, Dr. K. Raja, Principal, Danish Ahmed College of Engineering, and Professor Dr. J. Sendil, Associate Professor and Head of the Department, Petroleum Engineering, and my fellow faculties, faculty members from other institutions to this program. To start off with a brief introduction, Danish Ahmed College of Engineering was started in the year 2002 by the founder and our esteemed chairman, Alaj K. Musa. Our institution is a NAC accredited with B++, recognized under the Section 2F and 12B of the UGC Act 1956. Our college has established the Institution Innovation Council as per the norms of Innovation Cell MHRD. Our college is currently offering 6 UG courses, namely Bachelor's in Civil Engineering, Computer Science and Engineering, Electrical and Electronics Engineering, Electrical Communication Engineering, Mechanical Engineering, and BTech Petroleum Engineering, along with the PG course, Master of Business Administration. I am once again profusely elated to introduce our guest, Dr. K. Raja, who is an academician with an experience of about 29 years in various top institutions across Tamil Nadu. His service as principal in various colleges is about 15 years, and still he continues to be a man of inspiration for young minds at Danish. He has published a lot of papers in national and international publications and has also guided and produced several PhD scholars. Mainly, he's been instrumental in various accreditation processes of NAC, NBA in the colleges across Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. It's a very pleasure to have you, sir. Over to Raja, sir. Sir, are you there, sir?
Yes, yes.
Able-
Hello, sir.
Hello, Priyadarshini.
Yeah,
Are you able to hear?
Yeah, now it's audible,
Yes,
sir.
sir. You're able to hear. Now
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
audible.
Good evening, Priyadarshini. It is a very nice introduction. I thank all the participants during the lockdown period interestingly showing to know about NAC accreditation assessment process. It's really a different kind of presentation. We think as academicians, most of the academic institution, while applying for accreditation, they all of a sudden they apply for accreditation process and they started filing a records. But being an academicians, the difficulties inside the institution day-to-day work process, how we are going to tackle this NAC process very easily. That's our objective today. I hope our co-presenter is Dr. Sendil. He is our accreditation coordinator, that is IQAC coordinator. So while applying NAC, if you have an idea, you need to work 1 year ahead of that. The collecting data is very, very important. Most of the time, it is a holistic approach of the whole college quality certification when compared to NBA. NBA is an apex body of AICT, that is for engineering and technology institution mostly go for NBA. This NAC is under UGC, it is apex body. Now this is going to applicable for all the institution, engineering, arts and science, education, polytechnic, etc. So pharmacy kind of thing, this type of institution also. So here today our ultimate objective is going to share how you are going to score marks during the NAC inspection and the NAC process. So the NAC process is overall 1000 points. 700 points says, so it is going to do system evaluation through, that is artificial intelligence based system generated score is there. So that at the time of preparing SSR self study report, you should be very careful on that.
Hello, Raja sir. Hello.
Things.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Continue, sir.
Raja sir. So there is no audio from your side. I request the participants to kindly wait. There is some network issue from Raja sir's side. So kindly wait for a few minutes. He'll be reconnecting with us. Dear participants, kindly wait on the line. There's some network issue at Raja sir's side, so he'll be joining us within few minutes.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Now it's audible.
Is it audible?
Yes, sir. Now it's audible, sir.
Oh, you are not able to hear.
Sir, we were not able to hear for a few minutes back. Like now it's clear, sir.
Okay, okay. So
Now it's perfectly
once
clear, sir.
again, this audience are going to take away after completing this program how to score NAC.
Sir, again the audio is breaking.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Now it's fine.
Oh, sorry, Priya. Due to some network problem.
Okay, sir.
So our ultimate aim to get a good score on that. As I told you, there are 1000 points. Out of that, 700 points are going to be system generated score. So system generated score means in the revised NAC web portal, the assessor preparation is very, very important. So after submitting this SSR preparation, so how you are going to support or submit your documents is very important at the time of audits, so that our the session I will help you how your academic supporting document preparation, how you each and every going to be complementing the addition of marks to your department, etc. Sometime you think about most of the funded problem at all. Even the 5,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees nearby institute appreciating and giving work to your student is chances are scoring good marks. And if you are tie up with the institution, your people going and visiting a company one day with the proper proof and evidence, that gives marks. So as and when if you are doing these things, the documentation is very important. The IQAC. So every department has to do anything or everything through IQAC is very important. Most of the time, the colleges are missing out some of the documents. Even they did wonderful things, but they can't produce evidence on that. So neglected. This is important. This is not important, etc. You collect everything, then sit together with the 7 teams, and finally you prepare a SSR well in a limited words. Or hyphen, it taken as a one word count, so that you are not able to present your achievements within the limited scope. So that writing of SSR is very important. So I now hand over the session to Dr. Sendil, our IQAC coordinator. So after that, I will join in the middle of the meeting. I will explain stage by stage key indicator, how you are going to contribute or how you are going to relevant or correlate your files to score the marks. So I will share my experience. Recently, we got a B double plus. Most of the institutions think that the first time itself they want to achieve A double plus. It is not like that. Quality is a continuous process. So every day we need to improve. Every day we need to go on. So that is why if you are getting a first time A double plus, if you are going to get it next time less than that, it is not going to give a good impact or image on your institution. So that we will go gradually. That is very important. First time we are entering, either B or B plus or B double plus is advisable. So for that, you need to study everything. So that's what our ultimate aim of today's presentation. Good evening, 100% participants. Once again, I hand over the session to Sendil. Mrs. Priyadarshini, please take over the session. I will join in the middle of the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Surely, sir. Surely, sir. So now it's the time to introduce our next guest, Professor Dr. J. Sendil, Associate Professor and Head of the Department of Petroleum Engineering at Danish Ahmed College of Engineering. He has worked with reputed institutions like SRM University, Periyar Maniamma Institute of Science and Technology, and Hindustan University. He has also worked in the Middle East countries as a corporate trainer. He holds an additional responsibility as the coordinator of Internal Quality Assurance Cell at Danish Ahmed College of Engineering. He has published a lot of research papers in national and international journals. So we are very happy to have you, sir.
Thank you, Priyadarshini. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good evening, all. Let me start the presentation today. Sharing the experience of NAC. It's about revised assessment and accreditation process. So, what are the benefits of accreditation? So, institution may self-assess their strengths, weakness, and opportunities through an informed review process, and identifying internal areas of planning and resource allocation. Then, collegiality on the campus. Funding agencies may look for objective data to fund the institutions. So, it is necessary to have an accreditation. So, institutions to initiate innovative and modern methods of pedagogy, then new sense of direction and identity for institutions. So, the society look for reliable information on quality education offered. Also, employers look for reliable information on the quality of education offered to the prospective recruits. Then, intra and inter-institutional interactions. So, these are all the benefits we have to go for accreditation of our institute. So next one is eligibility criterion for assessment and accreditation. So higher education institution which is in existence for 6 years or has a record of at least 2 passed out batches are eligible to go for NAC accreditation. And provided the college is affiliated to a university recognized by UGC for the purpose of affiliation, they are also eligible. College received the status of autonomy by UGC, they are also eligible to go for accreditation. Provided the college institution not affiliated to a university is offering programs recognized by statutory professional regulatory councils and has been recognized by Association of Indian Universities or other such government agencies concerned as equivalent to a degree program of a university, they are also eligible to apply for NAC accreditation. The NAC accreditation does not cover distant education units of HE and offshore campuses. So the institution first intend to apply for assessment and accreditation by NAC. They must get the All India Survey on Higher Education number. This is the first and foremost important thing. They have to get AISHE code or reference number first they have to get before applying for NAC accreditation. So this is about institutional accreditation process. So it mainly consists of first thing is online submission of institutional information for quality assessment, that they call it as IAQA, and self-study report. Then followed by the NAC will do data validation and verification. Then after that the NAC conduct student satisfaction survey. Then once if you are qualified, if you are pre-qualified, then the peer team will visit your institution and accordingly grade the institution. So this is about preparation for assessment and accreditation process. So nowadays it has been made everything online. So this is the online assessment and accreditation process flow. So here we have 7 steps to get an institution accredited. So first step is you have to do registration. Once you registered, you will get a web portal ID. Then after that you have to apply for IAQA submission. Once IAQA submission is approved, you can go for SSR submission. So in between there will be some time. In that time you should make it ready, the SSR for submission. Upon submission, it will undergo for pre-qualification. Once it is qualified, then the NAC will decide the peer team to visit your institution. Then the institution, the team will visit the institution on qualitative indicator metrics. After that, they will declare the grade. So in between, if there is any queries or discrepancies, again we have to redo the process. Here SSR submission itself you can redo. They may ask you to redo the process, or if you are not pre-qualified, again they may insist you to redo the process. Or if you want reassessment after declaring the grade, if you are not satisfied with the grade, you can go for appeal process or reassessment process. If it is not qualified for accreditation, again you will have to come back and do from the beginning itself, IAQA. So this is about a HEI registration process. The first step I told you in the previous slide. So that itself is having 5 steps. So first you have to fill up the HEI registration form. Then the higher education institution fills accreditation information. Then it will be submitted to the NAC for verification purpose. Once it is verified and approved, the NAC will activate the login credentials. So then the institution can have the access to that portal. So this is about IAQA submission process. The second step after HEI registration, the second step is IAQA submission process. So fill the IAQA data and upload support documents. Pay the IAQA fees online. So now it's 25,000 plus 18% GST. Time to time, NAC will revise the fee structure. You can check in the website before paying the registration fees. So once it is paid, you can submit the IAQA document. Then it will go for verification. If there is any clarification queries, again the NAC will send back us. Once we clarified the queries, we can submit that. Once the verification is over, they will accept the thing. If it is not accepted, again we have to redo the process. So here one point I would like to say, within a year you are allowed to do 2 attempts with the same fees. That is the first attempt, including first attempt means you have 3 attempts. If it is excluding, then 2 attempts with the same fee you can do. So why there is an IAQA process? So the purpose to ascertain the eligibility of the institution for comprehensive assessment and accreditation by NAC, and to ensure that the applicant institutions fulfill statutory requirements of agencies which govern it. Then fee structure and other financial implications. So this is the new fee structure with effect from November 27, 2019. So IAQA fee structure is rupees 25,000 plus GST 18%, which is not refundable. Here, as I said earlier, you are being allowed to do with the same fee structure 3 attempts. If it is rejected for or some reasons, you can maximum do 2 more attempts you can do within a period of year. So this is about assessment and accreditation fee for universities and professional institutions having 1 to 10 departments. So this is the total assessment fee plus GST. If the universities and professional institutions having more than 10 departments, then this is the total assessment and accreditation fee. So first 50% of the total fee along with the online submission of SSR, you have to do it. Then balance you can pay it before 15 days from the date of peer team visit. So this assessment and accreditation fees and expenses on TA and logistics of peer team would be reimbursed as per NAC guidelines. So this is for colleges which includes government, private and grant in aid. So general college with multi-facilities, this is the fee structure. Then general college with mono-faculty, this is the fee structure. And for teacher education institutions, this is the fee structure. Rest of the things remains one and the same for the previous case. So after filling up the SSR, it should be submitted on the NAC portal. The HA will receive an auto-generated link or ID of SSR on the registered email ID. The same SSR in PDF format should be uploaded on the college or university website. This is about self-study report submission process. So self-study report, Once you fill all the informations, the template is provided for filling up a self-study report, and upload data files as per the templates. Then pay the first installment fees online. And before submission, you can select non-applicable metrics and submit the SSR. So after that, there will be a parallel process. One thing is data validation and verification process will be going on. Meanwhile, the NAC will send students satisfaction survey process, as well as they will check the publication details which the faculty published in Web of Science, Scopus, then Copernicus International, all those things they will verify with information and library network center through that. So these three will go in parallel manner, and once the verification will be over, updated SSR, if there is any query, you can update with the inputs from this data validation and verification process, as well as these two, student satisfaction survey and InflipNet. Then SSR can be submitted. So coming to the data validation and verification process, so these things are all already taken care by the system itself. Data validation and verification identifies deviations. So if there is deviations, NAC will ask for queries to the higher education institutions. We have to clear the clarifications and resubmit. Then again it will undergo for verification. Then if the DVV recommends data update, then update and submit. Again it will undergo a second level verification. Then the final report submission to NAC. So this is about student satisfaction survey process. So NAC will initiate parallelly while doing data validation and verification. NAC will initiate student satisfaction survey with 30% students over all programs. So they themselves will send link to their email. The students can log in through the credentials and submit the survey responses. If the monitor survey, they monitor survey for 10% of the total student strengths, or out of 500, 100 responses, if you could reach, then it's sufficient. Otherwise, what they will do, they will send the survey request to remaining 70% of students, or they may send it to all also. Then they will close the survey for the particular institution and compute the student survey metric value. So this is about InflipNet bibliometric data. So in higher education institutions, they will submit the publication details, whatever the publications we made it in Scopus, Web of Science, or ICI. So it will be verified with the Information and Library Network Center. If there is any queries or clarifications, they will ask us. Once we clarify and upload things, then we have to submit it. So it will compute the bibliometric data values and record the quantitative metric scores. So this is the SSR quantitative metrics evaluation for pre-qualification. So NAC will compute quantitative metrics percentage, then verify pre-qualification eligibility. So this has to be submitted to the standing committee or executive committee for a decision. NAC standing committee or executive committee for a decision. Once they get the decision, so they will set a pre-qualification passed status. Then only next step it will take it up for P-team visit. So SSR submission readiness. Before going to submit SSR, so first you go through the NAC manual and guidelines. So understanding about the metrics. There are a lot of key indicator frameworks. So you first understand about the metrics. Data submission, both quantitative and qualitative metrics. So this you understand very clearly before submitting SSR. Upload wherever the relevant documents are needed, you upload it. Then whichever is not applicable, the metrics, you can exclude that metrics. So previously 5%, that is 1000 weightage marks they will give. Before this revised academic framework, we can exclude 50 marks non-applicable metrics. But now in the revised academic framework, they told us to exclude only 30 marks or 3%. So refer a standard operating procedure which will be helpful in SSR summation and data validity and verification process. So this is the revised accreditation framework for affiliated institutions. So mostly the system itself will verify all the data submitted. That they call it as system generated score with combination of online evaluation. This is about 65% to 70%. For 65% for affiliated colleges, universities may be 70%. And peer team, they will visit the institution and award 35% of marks or 30% in case of universities. So in introducing the element of third party validation, that they are doing DVV, data validation and verification of, and the possibility of roping in multiple agencies. So in providing appropriate difference in the metrics weightages and benchmarks to universities, autonomous colleges and affiliated constitution colleges, participation of students and alumni in the assessment process. So these are all the some of the important points they incorporated in the revised accreditation framework. So this weightage of quantitative and qualitative metrics on quality indicator framework. Total weightage is 1000 points. These two are for university. This one represents quantitative and the light color will represent qualitative. So here you can see from affiliated colleges to university, it can vary from 65 to 75%. And for qualitative metrics, it can vary from 25 to 35%. Then NAC feedback. So NAC will go through the self-study report through an online assessment mechanism. So validate and verify the quantitative metrics in the SSR. So if an institution clears the pre-qualifier score of 30%, the student satisfaction survey will be administered and the peer team visit conducted. If there is any discrepancy, factual error, then a deviation report is sent to the institution seeking further clarifications. So HA response, the institution should edit the information and respond to NAC within 7 days. Subsequently, NAC will again check the resubmitted data. So depending upon the extent of deviation, NAC will inform the institution of any of the following. The dates of the peer team visit they can tell us, or deferring of the peer team visit, or debarring the institution from having a peer team visit. Logistic fee. So the institution has to pay in advance logistic expenses for arrangement of peer team visit. So for colleges, normally for 2 days, it will be 1,50,000 plus GST, 18%. And for universities and professional institutions, normally the visit will be for 3 days. It will be 3 lakhs plus GST 18%. So if the institution doesn't take up the accreditation process, the fees will not be returned to the institution. However, the same will be adjusted when accreditation process is taken up. So this will be up to a maximum time limit of 1 year. Then coming to IAQA, institutional information for quality assessment. So these are the standard templates NAC is giving us. We have to fill these 31 points and upload after completing HPA register. The second step is IAQA submission. So this form is available. You make it ready. Then after that you update information in online. So here one point I would like to stress is the 29th item is about All India survey for higher education. That number, as well as you have to take part, when you have take part in the All India survey for higher education, that you have to enter here. So when an institution undergoes the accreditation process for the first time. That is referred to as cycle 1. And the consecutive 5-year periods as cycle 2, 3, etc. Okay. So the process in each cycle is similar, except that from cycle 2, the frame of reference includes the impact of the lost assessment and consequential quality improvement as reflected in the AQARs submitted over the 4-year post-accreditation period. So this is about preparation of a self-study report. So there are 5 components or format for preparing the self-study report. Dr. Raja sir will take out from here. He will give some hands-on experience
Thank you,
on how to
Sandil.
prepare self-study report. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sandil. Dear participants, as Professor Sandil pointed out, there are pre-work before go for NAC. That is, at the time of need to fill All India Survey on Higher Education. That is AISH, AISHE. This is a central government MHRD initiative. Each and every institution ID has been given to you. This unique ID is going to use in many of the purposes thereafter. Either MHRD innovation cell starting, that time also they are asking AISH code, NIR. First you get AISH code. Second thing, if possibility is there, you insist your college to get 12B and 2F. These two things are certificate given by university. Printed materials. It may be a pamphlet, it may be a ID card, it may be a advertisement, it may be a conference brochure, or any information. It may be a standard letters or your college logo, whatever. Very important is website development is very important. All the information should be listed in the website. So the committee before visiting itself, they will go through nook and corner of your website. Each and every website informations are there, so that your website is one of the very important indicator nowadays. So with these informations, we will move to how to prepare a SSR. Profile of the institution, and you go back, Sandil. The extended profile of the institution and quality indicator framework and a template of quantitative summary is nothing but it is going to explain about since when your college is started, who started with what vision and mission, and they have already exposure on educational institution running since 2000 or since 1980, 1950 for the past 40 years. So who are all member in the board? So these things are into executive summary. So they'll move to next slide. And here the introductory note. Be nearer to industry. Suppose assume 30 kilometers away from industry. You can such a way write it. It is very easy to connect our students into industry ready engineers or graduates. Very frequently our industry people are visiting. You write it that into the SSR. Reason because the system grading score is very important. So that is, so system generated score, SGS is there. So they are good credit to you. So that is why your SSR preparation is very important. and the criteria wise summary is there. The summary should be, you can write it within 500. Suppose the first criterion, second criterion, third example, suppose criterion 1, you given a value added courses for each department one particular course, or you are maintaining some special timetable apart from the university recommended timetable. You then that should be in that line itself, they given not more than 250 words for each criteria. One small box is there. As I mentioned that there is a problem if you are giving a comma, exclamatory. SWOT, previously they call it as a strength, weakness, opportunity and threat. Nowadays the threat has been removed, instead it is called it as a challenges. So if you are going to give your admission or your strategies or your play, it may be a rural college, it may be so justifiable things. And additional information, if anything, if you have any center of excellence or any uniqueness or anything not available in other colleges, such things are Sandil, next
Yes,
slide. Sandil?
Yes, sir.
And these are all the formats already available in the web portal itself. So once you fill the details, take a printout and circulate it. 2-3 branches started in the inception itself, so that they give it to the heads of the department and collect it, and the IQAC cell will do all the process. Finally, it reaches to principal and cross match with your HR department if anything is available, and the date of appointment and the date of designation changes or promotions, norms, etc. Everything. Once you confirm this one, you need to upload this in Sandil, go to next. Extended profile. You move to on the key indicator, Sandil. We'll discuss that into detail. Okay. Me to web portal. So this consists of 7 criteria, as already Professor Sendil discussed. This criterion weightage will be vary from affiliated college to autonomous to universities, etc. So here, so that I am taking consideration of affiliating institution as a reference. So the higher education institutions cover these 7 criteria. Normally each and every faculty doing this one, but we don't know how to present to share our experience today. So these 7 criterions are very, very important. First criterion is curricular aspect. Normally as a affiliating institution, so this is, you can understand that universities total metrics is one key indicators, KIs are there. So UG program 31 and qualitative metrics and quantitative metrics, there are 35 and 58 is there. So these things in the self-study report and student satisfaction survey and PT before going for the NAC, you form a committee, call it as a IQSL or internal quality committee, and as well as each and every department you are nominating one person as a NAC coordinator. As like that, you educate your student for your students to inform that you are going for NAC accreditation and importance of the NAC. Reason because the student survey will give very good impact on your NAC score. So this is system generated score. So feedback to that NAC web portal. So they will assess that one and they will send the feedback consolidated also to you after your SSR is validated. That time also you have to conduct that peer team visit. You show them, definitely you are going to get a good mark. So we will go by one. The first indicator, the key indicator, the criterion one is curriculum aspect. So here for affiliated colleges, curriculum design and development in a syllabus. Already affiliating university will given the syllabus. So second important point, curriculums planning and implementation, 20 marks is there. Automatically every university will release a calendar for that particular date and the assessment dates tentatively they will given. That circular should be kept in all department files. Based on the circular, principal or dean academic will prepare that particular college paper certified by the principal, that circulated to all the departments, and each and every course file contain that calendar, and that will give continuously the 20 marks. Easily you can get it out of the curriculum planning and implement. And how the evaluation pattern, are you conduct any class committee meeting as per the university norms and regulations? Are you keeping a syllabus copy in your department? Are you keeping a university norms and regulations at your college? Like logbook, your academic calendar, and any department calendar is there. That is specialized calendar. If you are able to point out your department seminars or guest lectures or workshops are scheduled on so and so date, that give a to academic flexibility. For affiliating colleges, 30 marks is given. This academic flexibility means the number of working days meeting out, number of periods allotted, or the library hours and other self-improvement flex during the class hours, that is working days, and as well as the CBCS, that is choice-based credit system, or any dual credit or part-time or anything certification course parallelly doing this. 3 curriculum enrichment. Here any value added courses you are giving, offering certificate diploma other than the main course they are doing. So that is very important. It is not conducted by 1 day or 2 hour, 3 hour. That is not going. And for that a minimum of 90 days or 30 days or 60 days, that is very important. So it should be endorsed by any industry people, specialized trainings. For example, suppose a welding, it is for mechanical or refrigeration or is taken into account curriculum enrichment. Then 1.4 is 20 marks is allotted for feedback system. Normally university has its own feedback system, that is called a class committee meeting given by the that is 2 students above average, 2 student average, 2 students below average, and girls boys ratio is very important, and hostler day scholar is very important. Apart from these, any lateral entry students are joined, you should include that also into the committee. Will address the meeting. Other than this feedback, any stakeholders like parents or industry people or alumni, their suggestions are taken into account. We will definitely score that mark. Now we highest mark among all other 7 criteria, that is 350 marks. So normally each and every teacher doing this one very perfectly, but we are missing to claim the mark such a way we are not, most of the institution not submitting the reports properly. Admissions based on the government schemes or that particular state government selection process is there, or any other student enrollment ratios, boys girls ratios, or urban, or which cut off the student admission is over. Every year how many applications sold out, either you are taking based on the entrance exam or not. If not, you should not conduct against the state government where you are located. So that you should be very careful on student enrollment and profile. So automatically you are getting a 40 marks on that. In 2.2, catering the students diversity, that means 50 marks. You understand that some students may be studied biology, but they have a eligibility score in maths, physics, chemistry. They opted that. They may be missing in computer science. So that time, normally every college, any course, it may be arts or it may be, so once the admission is over, we need to conduct bridge course. As per AICT, it is mandated 2-week program, so that you have a plan for conducting orientation program or induction program or freshers. Guidelines, some state government given their own guidelines, or something the college has its own guideline, and they may be given a language, they may be given a orientation, they may be remove fear, they may be give motivation, and they may be making program objective where they are going to work after completing the course. This is very important. That's why catering to the student diversity, maybe a village students, maybe any physically challenged students are there, any linguistic issues are there. So could be that should be a good one. So like this, if you do anything, that mark will be definitely going to carry. And the 2.3 teaching learning process, 50 marks. This is normally every teacher has to do. That is how in the common resources library and other sports or laboratories or interdisciplinary department ancillary papers are discussed, how the subject location was made, each and everything you have a minutes. HOD meetings are there, relevant course committee meeting, and logbook is there. Every week you should report to logbook to your head of the department. The lesson plan, here only the major role playing of that CO and POs are there. Course plan, the curriculum objective, and you should paste it in your department itself, the course objective and curriculum, the program
Course
objective,
outcome, program outcome. Okay, sir.
program outcome and course outcome. So how correlating this with your thing? A day-to-day activity shows that you are taking at if any adjustment is there, any changes are happening, you should properly report to the head of the department, and these should be taken into account in the class committee meeting. If some of the students saying that the particular subject was not understandable, we need more through head of the department to another head of the department, are routed through principal. So these things has given a support document. And teaching profile and the quality, this is very important. Each and every individual teacher has to attain the 60 marks level, entry level or senior level or professor level. They have a qualified degrees, so automatically you are getting, suppose for example ME is a base degree for teaching in engineering college. Once you have ME, automatically you are getting certain mark. And attending conferences and publishing papers. So how your quality, any that Atal Bihari Vajpayee schemes or NITTR, National Institute of Technical Teacher Training Research, and there are plenty of webinars online. A very good mark in you at the time of NAC presentation. You are going to give, I know basic or ABC about NAC. So you are continuously on quality improvement or subject improvement. So these plays a major role. Each and every individual teacher is responsible for score forms, the 30 marks. This is how your university pattern is there. That means the student internal mark and external mark, how classified. Suppose, for example, 100 marks, 80 into 20, 80 marks is external, 20 marks is internal. For you are conducting for 100 or 50, then it is converted into 5, and rest 5 may be attendance or assignments or any other seminar kind of thing. That should be how evaluated and recorded, any without any bias papers, any past records. Either students has an opportunity to apply for reevaluation, challenging the paper. So you need to keep track of that. Each and every semester, our student, this semester, 20 people reevaluation apply. At the time of inspection committee, you can show that, sir, this affiliated university have this option. Our college students shown the paper, we evaluated, we suggested you go for application, revaluation, they got it. These are all the things. So you need to show all the things, you are easily getting 30 marks. And 2.6 student performance and learning outcomes, 60 marks. How your student excel in your classes. If the student attending any other programs or your student rank holder, 9.2 or 9.3, when compared to all other 425 engineering colleges, our students are now retaining top positions, maybe expected university ranks. Then they will ask you at the time of peer team visit, if we are strong in saying you are going to get a 5 university rank. Sir, this is the college rank system. Our student has this much CGPA and nearby college has this much CGPA only. So we believe that. So such a way the student performance and learning out. You have internal feedback system is very important. Each and every subject, beginning of the semester or end of the semester, you have a certain system. Teachers teaching learning process, or whether the teacher is using smart room or NPTEL content usage. There are different teaching methodologies are there. Think, share, pair, kind of new innovative method, participative teaching, or e-learning or online learning, or teacher also along with the students, they scoring this 350 is very important. Because of the teachers only, the NAC will going to give a good marks, not for the infrastructure. We will see the infrastructure in a different criteria, but only 100 marks for that. Whatever the buildings are very pleasant, in and around the student, teacher, heads of the department, how your department is administrated. So that this the 350 marks is very focused. Each and every individual will score that one. And the third criteria, research, innovation, and extension. Affiliating colleges. Most of the time, affiliating colleges say that, sir, my college is very small in size. They started very recently. There are less number of PhDs only available. Don't worry about it. The research mobilization and for funded projects, even you are not able to get a project sanction, that not a matter. Each and every department you show that, sir, we are due to this young college, we are not eligible to get, but they are not considered. Department of Information Technology, DIT, There are MHRD, AICT, mini projects in UGC or nearby industries. Any private industries, if you are going to provide a one solution, you can get a good marks on that. Here the award is not only for the faculty point of view, and if the award given to your college or most clean campus or by Lions Club or JC's Club.
அதான் அவர் இல்ல
Kind
இருக்கா
of thing.
வெளியில போயிட்டாரு இன்னைக்கு மொபைல் கடையில அப்படிங்களா கடைக்கு போயிருக்காரு
Participants, please mute your mic.
please mute your mic.
Consultancy, again,
Participants, I kindly request you to mute your mic.
member may handle classes for some of the nearest company employees. For example, in our college at Orakadam, in one of the company called NBSL, they are manufacturing elevators. We have MOU with them, and our English faculty going there 1 hour per week. They are taking spoken English class. That given a extension. A memorandum of understanding, establishing MOUs, creation of center of excellence. How many industry participation in your academic council or board of council, or you have any different new your professors, you conduct a relationship, establishing a relationship with the nearby core industry, they come and take particular unit, that also given a good mark. So extension activities. Then center of excellence, that means you given a space, they implemented some of the instruments from their industries, they do production at your premises, or they are going to give training to at our premises. In our college, the Godrej is going to give a refrigeration. Wonderful center of excellence under CSR activity, corporate social responsibility. More than 18 lakhs worth of all kind of all refrigerator, washing machine, micro oven, everything is available at our college. Apart from our college, so such things covers. So automatically you are going to get 110 marks in this criteria. Sendil?
Yes, sir.
Sendil?
Yes, sir. I put fourth and fifth criteria.
As I told you, even your college has big number of lands, big number of buildings, big number of spacious rooms, etc. The marks is only 100 marks. Understand that how much importance is in and around you and teachers. So here only 100 marks. Physical facilities, that is building space, sports activities, or canteen facility, etc. 30 marks. Library as a learning resource, 20 marks is there. You can easily get it as per the norms. To make membership in N list. The N list is very easiest one. You are going to get more than 1,300 journals online availability, access availability is there. If you are go for NAC, you are going to get a credential. Subscription is given by the N list. Apart from that, the NPTEL or nearest Delnet is there. Yearly 13,000 is enough for accessing more number of journals. And other than that, any British Council or American Embassy tokens are there, institutional membership, that will give easily 20 marks. And how library is utilized by your students, either the library hour is allotted per week, or apart from the regular hours, how many hours library is kept. So we created an award called every academic year, any student using more number of library hours. So we give a best student award, library usage award. So such things aware of it. Every college has, without computer we can't survey nowadays due to impact of information technology and communication. The number of computers, number of softwares available, number of membership with any forum programs are there, or affiliating universities has some big associations. If you are tie up with that, because of this MOU, you can get some licensed version of software. So that can be shown there. And maintenance of campus in the manager estate, how the infrastructure maintenance is there, any campus cleaning day is declared. Every month you have a campus cleaning day. And as per the Swachh Bharat, such things are there. You can correlate these things with that. You can easily in your campus. You have a borewell or drinking water or municipal connection. The individual faculty or heads of the department will know about these things. How much groundwater level, what is the water contamination, or you have a tested things are there. How many restrooms are there, or any prayer halls or any other medical rooms are there. So how many smart rooms are available, and how these things are maintained, how green your campus is there, or your student has engaging with the these things. Then we move to fifth criterion called student support and progression. The student support, actually, see here, this part also you should carefully compare with the universities and other autonomous. 140 marks is very important. So 50 marks is given for student support and progression. That means how student learning system is supported by you. Either you have a arrangements, special classes, or any failure students are taken into special care. Any you have any counselor kind of thing, psychological counselor or adult counselor or medical facility or motivational sessions are carried out. And as well as the student support comes scholarship, any community scholarship or state government scholarship or central government scholarship or minority scholarship, how your college is facilitating these things to get these things, get the college. Help the students. Are the college facilitating to get these things? Any education loans and other things are there? Are your college or department facilitating to give a bona fide certificate? Or you conduct any passport campaign at your college campus? Are you arranging any awareness program on overseas employment? Are you arranging any IAS coaching? Or are you arranging any competitive exams called ITRIP, that TOEFL, GRE kind of things? So student progression. So here automatically you need to give a placement orientation and other music clubs and other extracurricular activities like national conference, participation of international conference, or you are things. These are all fully for student, how you are supporting students to get a good mark, clear their academics or clear their backlogs, or you have a any special kind of we have FAP in our college called faculty. So that time there is no chalk and talk. Student play major role on that. That is, instead of teacher teaching the student will teach to students to clear their arrear papers or backlogs, or even current paper itself, some tough subjects is unique at our college. faculty advising program. Is there anything available for student support? And student participation and activities 50 marks. Are you help the students to get internship 15 days or 1 month or to overseas universities or in India itself, any other reputed universities offering internship, you have MOE with that. In our college, we have MOE with UTP Malaysia, University of Technology Petronas. Last year, 8 and they did a 15 days course at the UTP Malaysia. So such kind of things. And the 5.4, the alumni engagement. This is again 10 marks, easily you can get it out. So normally you are conducting alumni reunion is not a matter. Under Tamil Nadu government or any state government, there is a registrar like association or company act. So you need to register your alumni. You need to put one teacher as alumni coordinator, and your senior the passed out alumni are ask the alumni to take the class and take one photo at the class. Even some of the alumni are shy over to take the session. Don't worry about it. Just make it as a discussion, official or unofficial or formal. Get 10 out of 10. So here it is, you should understand that 140 marks compared to university or other autonomous institution, you are getting more marks on that. Sixth criterion, governance, leadership and management. Governing council, how frequently you are conducting meetings, how frequently you are having a HOD meeting, principal meeting, staff meeting. Are you recording proper minutes of the meeting, and how the channel of or dean and from principal dean to management. So institution vision and leadership is very important. As like that, how you are communicating to the stakeholders. Suppose in your college, printed stationaries are given to students. Some discipline rules, do's and don'ts. So these things, institutional vision, how transfer to other stakeholders is very important. And as well as the strategic development and deployment, that is how your policy based learning management system or fees collection or IT enabled administration. So these are all the things plays a major role. Your student is need not come physically online. That should be evaluated and verified by the head of the department. That kind of things. Or you have any enterprise resource planning for educational management. So such the attendance systems or outpass, everything. Then faculty empowerment strategies. Here 30 marks is given out of 100. You understand that the faculty empowerment is nothing but whether the decentralization is maintained in your college is going to verify this way. That is, faculty, then thereafter faculty members are there as per the chronicle order. So there, suppose each and every class has a class coordinator or class in charge or class committee chairman is there, CC. Then there is a subject teacher and guest lecture. There is a student counselor. So such a way, in each and every department, you have your own distribution of work and in charges is given. As like that, your fact Senthil is playing a head of the department as well as IQAC coordinator. As like that, suppose I am conducting a sports day, the principal will send a letter to the college day is going to celebrate. These are the sports, these soft seating arrangement is given to mechanical department, catering is. So this is called faculty empowerment. So you need to keep everything is a rotation basis. Faculty members are changed, given to authorities, or facilitated to hand over or taking decision at what level. HOD's financial commitment is how much, or the principal has how much financial power. So that and all comes there. And the financial management are there, how they are collecting fees. Apart from fees collection, any other supporting things are there. So these are all taken into account. Then the last one in is internal quality assurance system, 30 marks here and system as like a human body. Everything goes there, rooted there, and from there only distributed. Even whenever the department conducting any guest lectures, they have to give one copy, or the intranet communication is there. You can send an email. Recording. After completing the session, we will send the report to you. Such a way. Or unfortunately, you don't expect one alumni will visit to campus for getting some other clarification or bona fide or foreign study reco letter. View or discussion or sharing of his views, that should be recorded by using a digital camera, and that should be make it as a evidence. So this, the internal quality assurance is very, very important. Each and every recorded very well, and this is going to helpful for them. So this 30 marks is given to this governance and leadership and management, so that the internal quality assurance cell is most important cell of everything is recorded there. One copy should be kept there. And this is the last criteria. This is very interesting criteria. So most of the time, most of the colleges are not able to score good marks in that. But after I given a mock audit, I was staying there. There are 600 girl students are in the college. It's a women engineering college. I found that most of the food waste are taken, solid waste are taken to nearby cattle field. They are on that. So as I told them, why don't you maintain this people, those who are collecting this food waste from your college, keep their names and keep their mobile numbers and keep it as a one table. Our institutional values and social responsibility. That means food waste is a crime. We are not wasting the things. We given an awareness notice among the hostel students. Even the wasted foods are, again, it is used responsibility. 50 marks, you can easily score that. How you are aware of rainwater harvestment? Are you conducted any social important days like Gandhi Jayanti, Yoga Day, institution to create awareness about the society where we are going to live? These graduated students are how going to react in the society. So that this institutional values and social responsibility is very, very important. How many units of NSS you have? Empowerment cell, or you have gender equality, or you conducted blood donation camps, or health awareness, or dengue awareness, or you contributed anything in and around. Maybe a simple one you can take one day to college, and you give how to operate a washing machine, mixie, grinder, small service oriented things that should be taken into account. And the best practices 7.2, 30 marks is there. In your it is a unique one in our college, we are doing this. So that's called best practices. That means you are intimating very frequently to the parent or stakeholders or industry connect kind of thing. So in our college, addition to across the things, girls, boys, whoever, they are able to get one certification on refrigeration kind of thing. So as like that, if you give any best practices in your college, we given a best practices, we are conducting we make it as a best practice. We justify that we are admitting our student cutoff was very low, cutoff students are joining. To improvise these things, we have a proven record. So that separate from yourself from among the groups. What is a specialty you have in your institution? So if you have such things, you have a, for example, in our college, our student is affiliated to Anna University, but there is no such participant from university campus. Our college participated on behalf of Anna University, and she won the gold medal. And their all India fencing competition, he got medal. So such things are called as a institutional distinctiveness. So these are the criterions. As I told you, the criterions are very faculty think that copyright is a very big one. It is very simple. If you have a manual for your own laboratory, you can apply a copyright, you can get it out. Last 2 academic year, we got FAP, faculty advising program. That is our special timetable. We added 1 hour for student teaching student itself. Any teacher, any student. And student can do group discussion. Getting copyright and patent, applying of funded project, and even student getting any science fair participation, all India level hackathon. May not you know that student getting to you, so that the student you periodically communicate to the student group also. You need to find out one active group among that NAC preparation. Apart from the core team of faculty, those who are doing positive note, when the peer team visit, they will ask occasionally or mandate they have to interact with the students. That time you are not permitted to enter into that. Most of the time they will give a these are the best things we made it for welfare of the students. They may not know how many students knows that the alumni students are shining very good in top positions last 10 years. They may not know. If you take a consolidation of all the things and occupying the top post like this, these many students clear competitive exam, these many students clear gate, these many students are working in this top position or overseas. Such a way you can easily score marks. I hope things. This is my experience. You can get easily B double plus or above. These points system and how you are connecting is very important. Thank you. I hand over.
Thank you, Dr. Raja sir. So let me take up from here. So as rightly pointed out by Professor Raja sir, the SSR submission is very vital in getting the grades. because from universities, autonomous institutions, affiliated or constitution colleges, 70 percentage of the score will be generated by the system generated score by NAC. So you have to plan meticulously and submit the SSR. So before submitting the SSR, you can have a expert committee from your nearby institutions or your own friends. You just invite them to your college and make a presentation what you are. They may assess your strength, weakness, opportunities, and challenges. Then, based on their inputs, if you prepare SSR and submit, you can score a maximum weightage from the SSR itself. From 65 to 75 percentage of marks you can score. Then the rest other part will be qualitative metrics. The peer team will visit your institutions and they are going to award only 25 to 35 percentage of the marks. So the SSR submission, which will decide the final grade of your institution. So it has to be prepared meticulously and submitted. Coming back to this slide, this is revised academic framework guidelines to opt out non-applicable metrics. So out of the 1,000 points, you can leave the 30 marks or up to 30 percentage. So this maximum weightage of metrics that can be opted out should not exceed 30 weightage or up to 3 percentage. So this metrics with the maximum of total 10 weightage per criteria can be opted out. So here there are some essential metrics, criteria 1, 2 and 7 are essential. So no metrics can be opted out from these criteria 1, 2 and 7. So metrics are identified as optional can only be opted out. So this list of optional metrics are given in appendix 4 of the NAC manual. You can refer the appendix 4 of NAC manual for what are all the metrics you can opt out, which will not suit your organizations. Those things you can opt out. This is about qualitative metrics cannot be opted out. Only quantitative metrics, that to 30 percentage weightage can be opted out. Then before submitting a SSR, there are some important instructions you should keep it in mind. First, you should try to understand what kind of information has to be given and how much. How is the data to be given? So collect, compile or compute the data accordingly. Arrange the data sheets in the order of metric number. For example, criteria 1 in that section 1.1.1. Then 1.1.2 and so on. Like that, you arrange the sheets and keep it in an orderly manner. Then open a file folder on your desktop, scan the requisite documents, keep it safe. Keep all the scanned documents in the folder and arrange them in the order of metrics. Having compiled all the information and procured all the documents, now you can fill up the online SSR. So the actual online format may have a minor change in the appearance due to its IT layout. So this is a process of assessment and accreditations. This is similar to the first thing I have shown here, assessment and accreditation online process. So first thing, after submitting IAQA, once the IAQA is accepted, you are allowed to submit SSR within online submission time of 45 days. So once the SSR is submitted, it will undergo for data validation and verification. So that takes 30 days time. Meanwhile, NAC will do student satisfaction survey. So after data validation and verification, if you are pre-qualified, that is 30 percentage out of the 65 to 75 percentage quantitative metrics, if you qualify 30 percentage system generated score, then you are passed. Then next step is the peer team will visit within a 90 days time frame. then they will give you 30 percentage qualitative metric scores. So altogether, there's peer team visit report, then there's system generated score as well as student satisfaction survey. Altogether will decide your grade of the institutions. Suppose if you fail to pass in the pre-qualifier, again you have to apply fresh IAQA and repeat the process. So this is the overall view of the process of assessment and accreditation. Then coming back to the final session, this is about assessment outcome. So finally, it will comprise of 3 parts. First thing is part 1. It is peer team report. It comprises 4 sections. In the first section, the peer team members will give general information of the institution and its context in a report format. Then in section 2, they will assess the institution and give a qualitative descriptive assessment report. Based on their observations, they will give a report. Then in the third section, overall analysis they will present, including the strength, weakness, opportunities and challenges. And in section 4, they will recommend for quality enhancement of the institutions. So it should not be more than 10 major areas where the institution has to improve their quality. So keeping in mind this fourth section, the remaining 4 years, the accreditation is valid for 5 years. Once the institution is accredited and given a credit, that certificate is valid for 5 years. Keep this thing in mind and try to improve the quality of the points given by the peer team. They might have mentioned these are all the things you have to improve the quality. So over the period of 4 years, you have to improve those points. And year by year, we have to submit an annual quality assurance report. There, the quality improvement has to be reflected. While going for the next cycle, that the peer team will check this thing, whether the recommendations are taken up properly and the quality of the points which they mentioned are improved or not, they will check. Coming to the part 2, this is quantitative metrics. It will be given in a graphical representation. The peer team will share you this data, and also from your portal you can download this graphical representation based on the data we submitted in SSR. Then part 3, this is the final grade sheet they are going to issue it, whether the institution is going to get A++ or A+, B, like that, how much score they have obtained. Based on that, the final grade sheet they will issue. So this is all about grade of higher education institutes. So it takes input from qualitative metrics using peer judgment, and as well as input from quantitative metrics using computer generated system score, including student satisfaction survey. These 2 inputs put together will decide the grade of higher education institutions. So this is the grade they will award on a 4-point scale. So 3.51 to 4 will be the top grade A++, and if it is between 3.26 to 3.5, it is A+. So we got our score 2.85, and our institution has been accredited B+. So that's a good thing. We feel it over the period of year. We will try to improve to A++, like that. Then after awarding the grade, if the institution is not satisfied with the accreditation status, they can go for appeal. This is a mechanism for institutional appeal. So submit the intent for appeal within 15 days and appeal pro forma within 45 days from the date of declaration of result through HAI portal. So the application for appeal should be submitted along with the requisite non-refundable fee, ₹1 lakh plus applicable taxes. So for that, they will constitute an appeal committee and make recommendations to the executive committee of NAC. The decision of the executive committee will be the final. So they will recheck the data validation and verification, or they may do revisit, or they may declare no change. Like that, the result may come. So the clarification process and timelines for the re-data validation and verification is same as the data validation verification process. So the process of revisit is same, except for the logistic expenses will be borne by the NAC. So quite frequently higher education institutions are requested to check their portal and as well as the registered email ID for any communications from the NAC. So this reassessment, if an institution seeking improvement in the accredited status, they may voluntarily go for reassessment after a minimum of 1 year or 3 years of accreditation. The current procedure and methodology and the manual for assessment and accreditation will be the same. However, the institution shall make specific responses based on the recommendations made by peer team in the previous accreditation report, as well as the specific quality improvements made by the institution in the intervening period. The fee structure and other procedures will remain the same. The reassessment will not be eligible for fee waiver and reimbursement of accreditation expenses. Reaccreditation or subsequent cycles, cycle 2, cycle 3, cycle 4. So institutions which would like to make an improvement in the accredited status may apply for reassessment after a minimum of 1 year and before 3 years of accreditation. The institutions opting for subsequent cycles can submit the IAQA beginning of the last quarter of the validity period. For subsequent cycles, the following are essential: IQAC to be functional, it's internal quality assurance cell, it's to be functional. Then timely submission of annual quality assurance report every year. Institutions to submit IAQA 6 months before the expiry of the accreditation status. The certificate is valid for 5 years, but you should not wait up to 5 years. Before 6 months itself, you have to apply for the next cycle.
Sandil?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You tell me, sir. An extension of validity period of accreditation. So extension of validity period, if the institution who is consequently maintaining the same grade A plus and A plus plus for 3 times, their validity can be extended from 5 years to 7 years. So with that, I conclude my presentation. Now it's time for question and answer session. I'm leaving the session to Priyadarshini.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and experience on NAC accreditation, sir. Both of you, Dr. Raja sir and Dr. Sendil sir. So we will now move forward to question and answer session. Throughout the session, there have been a lot of queries coming out. So maybe to both of the speakers, I will address the questions one by one. Question number 1, how much time it takes for an institute to prepare for NAC?
It takes 6 months time.
Okay, sir. So the next question is, if once filled, how much time it gets to get approval?
Sorry, I couldn't get you. Once after
Sir, this
submitting the SSR, how much time it will take?
Takes for approval.
So everything will be available in the guidelines. So I might have shown in that diagrammatic representation each step how much time it has been mentioned very clearly in that. Some may be 45 days, some may be within a period of 30 days, like that.
Okay, sir. And another question: how research publications affect the NAC grades?
Research publications, the weightage will be more in university. So we have comparatively shown the 1000 weightage for universities, autonomous institutions, affiliated colleges, constitutional colleges. Research weightage will be given more for universities, whereas for a tier 2 colleges, the weightage will be very less, 15 marks. But the weightage will be given for doing collaborations and having relationship with industries in establishing center of excellence, all those things.
Okay, sir. So there is this question: totally, how many files to be prepared approximately?
So that we have shown in the presentation, right? So nearly 93 key indicator frameworks are there. Here you can see for universities, autonomous colleges. So there are altogether qualitative and quantitative metrics. It will be 93. Even though the criteria are 7. The key indicators is 31. Then separately qualitative and quantitative altogether it will come 93. But you can make it 40 files. Within that you can compile all the informations.
Okay, so I hope all the questions are answered. So there is this one last question. So Mr. Ravi Kumar had asked, during this COVID period, still can we go for NAC?
This we have to check with NAC only. You can prepare for SSR. Online, there won't be any interruption. But peer time visit and all, it's not possible during this lockdown period. You can sit and prepare for the self-study report.
Fine, sir. So, dear participants, are there any more questions which I may not have spoken, told to the speaker, or is there anything that you want to ask? Please post it in the chat box. So there is one question. What all comes under faculty achievements?
Faculty achievements. Faculty achievements, there are more scope, right? So teaching, learning, and evaluation. Out of 1000 weightage, there is more scope for scoring. If it is the case university, it is less only. For affiliated and constituent colleges, it is 350. So here you can see the split up. Teacher profile and quality itself, you can score 60, and teaching learning process you can score 50. These things are nicely explained. Here you have to score more.
Okay, sir. So there is this question. What is the difference between NBA and NAC?
NBA is for individual department. NAC is for collectively the institution. The NBA is similar to NAC only, but some indicators will be more. That is pertinent to specific department. This is collectively for the college, NAC.
Senthil,
Okay, sir.
Hello, sir.
Priya,
You can share your view, sir.
Priya, NBA is not for a particular department. It is for particular program. For example, Department of Mechanical offering a BE Mechanical and ME Mechanical and Production or ME CAD, maybe one department, one program only accredited. NBA is a national board of accreditation, apex body of AICT ensuring the quality education. NAC is a apex body of UGC ensuring the quality of affiliated arts and science and engineering colleges under any university. So NBA more to one particular program in one particular department, but NAC is a whole college certification.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the reply. So there is one last question. How many students log in NAC?
This is about what feedback, feedback of a student.
So the question is not very specific. Mrs. Sangeeta, she has asked how many students log in NAC.
Yes, usually
No,
NAC will circulate student satisfaction survey. So they will circulate their individual to their individual mail ID. It's not about login at one time and all. So they have to go to their credentials and log in and fill up the feedback.
can I give additional information on this, Priya?
Definitely, sir.
So normally some of the colleges, they created a individual mail ID for students in their institution server itself. So for in that most of the students without students knowledge, they themselves given a feedback on that. So that is not right. If you given a 90% positive on your feedback, immediately the NAC will find out it is a fake. So that the college should give email ID of all the students, those who are currently studying in the particular college. They only randomly picking the students and they send it to the student. That's what Professor Senthil point out. Student survey either 10% or 100, whichever is earlier. So they will send to, suppose for 600 students are studying in your college, they will send it to more than 200 to 300 students email IDs. They themselves randomly picking. And either if got 100 numbers, that itself enough, or 10%, more than 2 to 3%, if there is there, they will send the email to us, or in the web portal itself we can find out how many percentage of feedback was given by student. Then we have to convene a meeting among our students and encourage our students to give more feedback on our NAC web portal or mail IDs. I hope I addressed it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So I think we are reaching towards the end of the session, sir. So we really appreciate our guest speakers, Dr. K. Raja, sir, and Dr. J. Sendil, sir, for organizing a very informative session. Throughout the session, there were a lot of positive appreciation from the participant side. It's been a pleasure to have you both with us, and we are still looking forward to seeing you again in other more informative sessions. Thank you, both of you, sir.
Thank
Thank you
you,
very much,
madam.
Priya, for your coordination.
Thank you,
Uh,
sir.
Thank you, madam.
And I
Nice.
also thank all the participants for showing interest in attending this webinar in spite of this COVID spread. Also, for those from any of your friends or your colleagues who were not able to attend the webinar right now, can visit our Facebook page. The name of our Facebook page is Danish Ahmed College of Engineering, which I'll be posting the link of the Facebook page also in the chat box. So they can visit our Facebook page for recorded version of this webinar. And if they have registered for this webinar, they'll be receiving a feedback link in their mail ID. So they can fill the feedback link after watching this webinar and they can get the e-certificate as well. Thank you so much. And we are dropping the mail IDs of our guest speakers. So do contact them through their mail IDs. Any queries regarding NAC, you can ask them anytime. So thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Priya. Thank you.
Hello.
Sandil?
Thank you, sir. Participants, I am just dropping our Facebook page link in the chat box. Do note it, share it with your friends, colleagues, everyone who have missed this informative session. Do ask them to follow us. Thank you.
Clarification, ma'am. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Please
tell
go
me.
ahead.
In feedback form, there is a question mentioning the like college in which this webinar has conducted.
I typed in the chat box. Danish
Danish
Ahmed
Ahmed College of
Engineering.
Engineering, sir.
Okay, that means the host college we have to mention.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Sir, shall we wind up the meeting, sir?
Yes, Professor. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.